What is up, my dudes, and that one girl who's surprised that Kawasaki's still making anything Vulcan? You and me both, one girl, you and me both. This is Bikes, Beards, and Brews. Let's kick that intro. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we kick this one off, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. New videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, days, whatever days, yo days. We're just doing this. Let's get the other stuff out of the way. Want to save 10% on a Cardo communicator? Check my referral link down below. Want to support me in all my do-gooderness like these cool guys here? Boom! Then you should become part of the Brew Crew and join the coffee page down below. It's right next to those 5,000 Amazon links down there, which, just like the Brew Crew, just like the Cardo, any profits I make go to a good cause. What's that good cause? Well, that link's also down below. Make sure you check that out as well. All right, so today we're just going to get into it. We are going to be talking about why Kawasaki riders, specifically Vulcan riders, should really start considering going to a Buell motorcycle instead, most specifically the Buell Super Cruiser that is due to come out in 2025. So before we get into that, let's do a little catching up for those of you not fully aware of like what the Kawasaki Vulcan S is, what it does, what it offers, and so on and so forth. First and foremost, the Kawasaki Vulcan, it's been around for a very long time, but the last time it got refreshed, the last time it was updated and changed was 2015. Since then, Kawasaki has really done nothing with this except for change the paint year after year, and that's about it. Now, the problem with this is the Kawasaki Vulcan S is actually a pretty damn good bike when you like really dig into it. It's got a 650 motor. It's actually out of like one of their sport bikes. It's just kind of tuned down a little bit to like be accommodating of a cruiser, and it has this thing called Ergo Fit. So essentially, if you buy one of these Vulcan S's at a Kawasaki dealership, they can size you up. So if you are like 5'6" and under, all the way up to like 6'1" plus, they have 3 different seats that they could put on the bike for you that like, you know, basically change how far from like the controls and the handlebars and all that you sit. They have different controls, like foot controls, where they can move them forward and back, and the same with the handlebars. Those can be adjusted. So the Ergo Fit is actually designed to just kind of customize that Vulcan S a little bit more, so you are riding in like a great rider's triangle and as comfortable as possible, so you can ride as much as you want. The bike itself comes in just a little bit over $7,000 MSRP, which is actually a pretty damn good price for a bike. With that, you're only getting about 61 horsepower, and it's coming in at 500 pounds curb weight. So nothing too crazy, although I have seen many videos online where this thing is taking on bikes that it should not be like going side by side with, and it is doing a great job. And I attribute that to the fact that it has that sport bike heritage in the engine that is there. So now the thing of this is, Team Green, as I was saying, they really have not done anything to this bike since 2015. So whatever the bike was in 2015, that's what you're getting today, you know, with just some slightly different paint here and there. If you even look at their website, it's like, oh, here are the features, and the features are like 3-tone paint, some pinstriping, and I'm like, what the hell is that? You guys are just absolutely ridiculous right now. It's kind of silly. And if you've ever spent any sort of time in any like Kawasaki Team Green, like chat board, message board, like web page, like whatever the hell you want, anywhere where like Kawasaki people are congregating. In the UK would probably just be all of them at a place called Super Sausage. For some reason, if you were on a motorcycle, you have to pilgrimage there every week. So I don't know. But anyway, if you've ever spent any time in any of these at any point in time, you'll see one of the biggest conversations has been since pretty much 2015, whether it be a wish list or a rumor that's been going forth, that the Kawasaki Vulcan is going to get one of the big boy engines that like the ZX line has or something like that. There's always been something like, oh, it's going to get the engine from the H2 and stuff like that. And this is not just the Vulcan S, this is also the Vaquero, which another bike has gone unchanged since like 2015, and it's kind of weird. But there's always been that rumor that these two bikes are going to get one of these 1000cc engines and, like, you know, just absolutely smoke it. It's supposed to be their absolutely awesome super sport sort of cruiser. Never happens. Never comes around. And that's, I feel bad for the Kawasaki guys. Obviously the price would go up a bit, but being that's Kawasaki, I'm willing to bet it would still be under 20 grand, no problem. It'd probably be around like 12, 13 grand, give or take. So here's where Buell comes in, and here's why I feel like people who are riding the Vulcan S, and even, you know, people riding the Vaquero looking for something else with a little bit more like power, should probably be looking at the 2025 Buell Super Cruiser. So to give you just a basic rundown right out of the gate, the Buell Super Cruiser is coming in at 450 pounds curb weight, which is what they're claiming right now. It's not in production just yet, so things may change, although when they were talking about it, when Roland Sands Designs, who helped build this bike and design this bike, was talking about this bike in particular, he said they could have made this bike lighter, but they wanted to go with production ready materials in like the frame and stuff like that. So it seems like they had an eye towards this bike going into mass production, or, you know, as close to mass production as Buell is going to get, without having to change too much from what you're seeing right now. So we're gonna go with that 450 curb weight. They're also claiming 175 horsepower and a suggested MSRP of right around 20K. Now, 175 horsepower is way more than 61 horsepower for those of you who are just bad at math or whatever. I mean, we're talking almost, well over 100 horsepower boost from that Vulcan S. And the reason why is Buell actually went and did the exact thing that Kawasaki owners have been asking Kawasaki to do since pretty much 2015, which is they took the Buell Hammerhead, which is their super sport bike. They use this thing for track, they use this to like race, they use this for like just to show that they can go really fast and look really cool. When Roland Sands came in and started designing the Super Cruiser, the new owner of Buell asked Roland Sands to use as many parts from the existing catalog as possible. So Roland Sands basically took the entire heart and soul of the Hammerhead and put it into a soft tail frame and then started building out the soft tail. For those of you not fully aware of why they're going like so close to a soft tail, Eric Buell, the founder of Buell Motorcycles, who's no longer a part of Buell Motorcycles, originally worked for Harley. And when he did, he helped design the FXR, which is considered one of the best handling Harleys that has ever been assembled and ever been like mass produced out there. So there's always that eye towards the past of making a bike that follows up that FXR and has the same soul. So what they did is they basically, Roland Sands went and designed what would basically be the next generation of an FXR, but put all the Hammerhead parts in there. So this thing is just coming in at 175 horsepower, which is just absolutely nuts. Of course, it is liquid cooled, but it also remains a V-twin. This has all kinds of sport bike stuff hidden in it. So it's going to have the TFT screen, which is something that you see a lot on the Indian motorcycles, and it's starting to show up on Harley. It's going to have steering dampeners on the front handlebars, because at its soul, this thing is a sport bike. It has the monoshock on the back, and then it has adjustable front shocks, like inverted front shocks. So I mean, like I said, this has done exactly what Kawasaki riders have been asking for like almost a decade now, which is just make a Vulcan that is just balls to the wall, like absolutely a sport bike in like soft tail, in cruiser fashion. So really, honestly, you Kawasaki riders, honestly, I've got nothing against Kawasaki. I used to have a Ninja. I love those bikes. I love Kawasaki. I've got a special place in my heart for those. Team Green, high five to you guys. But this is really the bike that you Vulcan riders have been looking for, and I feel like you should really dig into this because this is doing what you've been asking for. And also, this bike also has a pretty low to the ground seat. So I saw people like actually getting on this, riding it, stuff like that, and I checked out how tall they were. There was a guy that was like 6'1". He was sitting on it, knees fully bent and fully flat foot on this thing. So you do not have to be 6'1" to have this. All the shocks are adjustable, so even if it's not low enough for you, I'm pretty sure you can get it low enough for you, no problem. This is just like the bike that I feel like is going to punch a lot of these manufacturers straight in the face as it like does come out if Buell succeeds. And honestly, I want to see Buell succeed because at the end of the day, innovation breeds progress. And like, you know, the more you have bikes like this coming out that are taking on Harley, that are taking on Indian, that are taking on Kawasaki, the more these other like manufacturers are going to have to step up or they're going to be left in the dust. Even right now, if you look at like the Harley Lowrider S and you look at the Indian Super Chief, I think it's called, or Sport Chief that just came out, if you put those two in a lineup against this Super Cruiser that Buell has, that Buell is going to smoke both of them. Like there's just no like two ways about it. And it's got that look that people were looking for, that have that like love affair with the FXR. So like I want to see Buell succeed with this bike. So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Throw it down below. Do you own a Kawasaki Vulcan? Is the Buell Super Cruiser something that you think you would actually want to look into, that you would consider buying? Like, let me know. Is the Buell Super Cruiser like on your the top of your list instead of a Lowrider S or an ST or like the Super Chief or whatever the hell they got? Let's hear it. Sound off. That's what I got for you. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and share this video with friends. Share it with family. Share it with that one dude you know who didn't even know Kawasaki still made Vulcans. He loves this stuff, trust me. And I'll see you all on the flip side.